Hey there, what is up, athletes? We're going to continue talking about how do I construct a more specific mobility routine. So what I want to do here, guys, is adjust my camera, is we had this overview in a previous video talking about this general overview of when I'm going to a mobility routine. In general, I go through a parasympathetic routine. I do something to down-regulate my nervous system so I'm nice and calm and relaxed, and therefore I can make changes and adaptations in my body. And then I go through a lymphatic massage, and that includes working the big six, as Barry Nicholson calls it, the areas of your body where the lymph nodes are biggest and most concentrated. And so I can have the biggest impact on my circulation with those. And then that also comes with things like the foam rolling and banded stuff. And we want to talk a little bit more about that stuff and make it much more specific. So when we're doing an overview of a sequence, a mobility sequence, there's two big things that we want to be mindful of, and this is basically thinking along the lines of, am I warming up for something or am I cooling down? Because we know the mobility work is extraordinarily important for priming your body for activity. So if you're going to be doing pull-ups and your arm's a little bit stiff, your shoulders a bit stiff, you can do mobility work to unlock that range of motion and now things feel strong. But I don't want to do any mobility work going right up into a workout that's depressing my nervous system. So now, should we be doing parasympathetic work at the start? So typically, we're going to go parasympathetic, which means I'm going to go relaxed. That's typically first and foremost. However, if we are parasympathetic, if cooling down, or if it's not related to exercise. So we're not thinking, because we're thinking, for the sake of this video, we're thinking around exercise, okay? Whereas in general, if you're doing the mobility sequence just on its own, then go via this sequence. But if we're cooling down, if we are warming up, we're trying to prime a sympathetic nervous system, we can make some small changes even if, we're getting ready for exercise. You want to do this stuff kind of at the beginning, and you might actually do this at the very, very, very start. Like, you're going to start out your workout routine at 6 a.m. This is the very first thing you do. And then you start like the proper warm-up sequence. So none of this is like black and white. You have to do it this way. It's shades of gray. I'm just trying to give you information so that you can make an informed decision for yourself for how to best handle your body, your health, your athleticism, your injury recovery. But parasympathetic, if you're cooling down, that's typically like, you're not going to be doing this and then going straight into the workout. Does that make sense? All right, next part is that. So this is going to be like breathing work, breath, meditation, nature walk, etc. Yeah, get that stuff down, and you may want to do that like going into the workout at the very start, or you may not. If it's going to make you feel too lackadaisical, too weak, if you are injured and you're treating the exercise as more like a active recovery thing, might still be appropriate because you don't have to be that, stressed out for the exercise because you're not going to be that hard on yourself. Okay, so it's something to think about. You make the best decision for yourself. Get rid of this idea of, just tell me what to do. No, you tell yourself what to do because you are informed enough, you are educated enough to do that for yourself. Stop expecting the coach to tell you every single thing to do. You're not a child. But at the same time, they should be able to coach you through the stuff. Next part is going through a lymph massage. You can absolutely do this. So what we're thinking over here, let's make a line here. Impact on your central nervous system. Does it upregulate or downregulate? Parasympathetic work, so breath work, meditation, nature walk, this downregulates your body. Lymph massage, what impact does that have? Pretty neutral. We're just gonna draw a line for neutral. It's neither up or down. If it takes a long time, it's probably going to downregulate your body because you're taking a long time just massaging yourself. But if you do like the 4 or 5 minute full body routine, like normal, it's like 20 seconds on each bit. You're moving not fast, but at a decent pace. It's not going to have much of an impact on your nervous system. So that's fine to do before or after. And then you have like the actual mobility work. Mobility work. So let's go through this. Self-massage. What do we think? You've got a foam roller out and you're using it in your upper back. You're rolling up and down. Does that make you feel relaxed, or does that really light up your nervous system? It depends on the person. All of this is, it depends. And that's one of the most important answers I can give you for anything in life. It depends. And it really does depend. If this is going to be painful, then maybe be okay with doing it before the exercise. But you have to do this lovingly, because if it's making your body clench like crazy, you should probably not be doing it at that point. But if you can control it well enough, that's like, okay, I created some massage and it was very short term. We'll talk about that in a moment. Then maybe it's fine to do before exercise, because, you know, it helped me to feel better and increase my shoulder range of motion, increase my spinal range of motion a bit. But either way, if we do this for, like, let's say 30 to 60 seconds, that's going to be fairly neutral in terms of its impact on your nervous system. If it's 60 to, we'll say 120 plus seconds, so 2 minutes or more, this is going to start to down-regulate your nervous system, okay? Is all of that making sense? It just takes a bit of, what's the context? Because again, this is not black and white. Stop expecting me to tell you every single little bit to do. You have to make some decisions by yourself. I know that's very hard. I'm sorry for sounding like a dick there. Next part, so self-massage, it can down-regulate or it can up-regulate depending on how you use it, okay? So if you're gonna do this, like if I'm going to go for a max-out deadlift, I will roll out my lower back, 30 seconds, quick and easy, just to help it feel a little bit better, make it feel a little bit more loose. That's all you need. It's that 2 minute mark, 120 seconds where things really relax and you can really make some big changes. But that's also very down-regulating, so I'm not gonna do that before deadlifting, I'll do it afterwards, all right? Banded distractions. Banded distractions, what do we think? How do we feel when we do the banded work on our shoulders? We feel pretty much nothing. What we feel afterwards is like, holy crap, I have a foot more range of motion and now it looks like this in my arms. This is pretty neutral in its impact to your central nervous system. Okay? Massage gun. It's kind of the same deal as the self-massage work. It's basically the same thing. We'll just include it in that. If you're gonna do 30 seconds, so like massage gun to your lower back before you're deadlifting, probably fine. But remember, it uses percussion, right? It's that constant vibration and impact, and it can overload your nerves. So it can give you that numbness feeling. We don't want that before exercising. So be sure it's like 30 seconds, probably, or less per area. Using it on your lymph nodes will be grand as well. Next up is using voodoo floss. What do we think about that? Voodoo floss is typically, if you're used to it and it doesn't really bother you that much, you feel good using it, it might be a little bit more neutral, but you're also doing a lot to increase your circulation, because remember, it cuts off your blood flow, right? And because it tends to be quite, you're cutting off your blood flow, it can make you feel kind of like antsy a bit, it can be quite painful. This is more than likely going to be really good for doing before exercise, because in general, this is going to upregulate your central nervous system, and it's going to be great for including into a warm-up. It can be great for a cool down as well, but for all the mobility work that we have and all the different tools, and there are of course other things, but these are the major things, the voodoo floss is absolutely great for including in your warm-up. And that's probably the most important thing to do for a warm-up. Probably the banded work and then the voodoo floss, in my opinion. Okay, so let's actually put together some concrete sequences for, I have trouble squatting because of knee pain. Here are specific drills that I can do, or I have, I can't deadlift well because my lower back hurts. What can I do for that? Let's run through that now. And be sure, guys, to comment below if you have any questions about any of this stuff, or if you have some pain points that you would like me to run through, and I'll be happy to make a video going specifically through that, or to direct you through one I've already made. Take care, guys. If you suffer with chronic pain, chronic injuries, athletic injuries, I have got you covered. My name is Ethan Hammond, and I am a strength and rehab specialist. I work with people who want to return to sport and fitness, but feel that they can't because of pain and injuries. I've helped people with conditions such as lower back pain, ACL tears, shin splints, neck pain and chronic headaches, and so many more things. Now, a lot of you will be going through things like this, like what I just listed above, and you're saying that you cannot train anymore. Bullshit. You have got to train, and you've got to train right. Train or complain, that is the way this works. Now, I work in person in Southampton, England, but I have online services as well if you're a bit further out. And I also offer free consultations to get you started with a free game plan and strategy for getting out of pain. All you have to do is to send me a text or a WhatsApp message to 07 305 231 339, and I will personally get back to you in the next 24 hours to get you started on the road to proper recovery. If you are serious about leveling up and making real change, this is how you start.